Dr. Kevin McHale. Today's Injury Report brought to you by Cape Regional Health System and Dr. Kevin McHale with Penn Orthopedics and Cape Regional Health System, the best of both worlds for a healthier life. For an appointment, call 609-463-CAPE or visit caperegional.com/orthopedics. And, of course, Dr. McHale is back for another season. And, man, we're putting you to work early. The Eagles' entire roster seems like they got something wrong with them entering this season. Doc, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Would like to have less to talk about. Always better to talk about other teams, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and you've been a assistant trainer in the NFL. You worked with the Patriots. You know what it's like as they're trying to get these guys prepared for the season. And the Eagles got a bunch of guys, so let's dive into a couple and get your thoughts. Brandon Brooks. Now, we've talked about Achilles, and this is a major, major injury. And we're all kind of surprised, I think, Doc, that he's been out there playing less than 8 months. Now, he's a big guy. I mean, over 300 pounds. Are you a little surprised if he plays on Sunday, knowing the size of this guy, the injury he has, and the time frame that we're talking about?
Well, I wouldn't be completely surprised that he's playing, but I wouldn't expect him to be at 100% either. You know, these are notoriously bad injuries, and they're associated with a lot of players that get back and they don't quite play at the same level of performance that they did before the injury, because the Achilles is incredibly important for push-off strength and speed and just the ability to play at the NFL level. Now, you know, people like Jason Peters obviously had an Achilles injury, tore it twice, and went back and had 4 straight Pro Bowls. So it's not that you can't play at a high level, but getting back from them is really tough. Typically around 6 months is when they're really starting able to ramp up their sports-specific kind of training and activity. But at 8, or we like it to be around 9 months before they get back to full unrestricted play. But 8 months is a little early, but he should be able to. The problem is, you know, a lot of times we think of these fast guys, you know, your Emmanuel Sanders and Sidney Jones, about you need that push-off strength for speed. But somebody as big as Brandon Brooks, I mean, you can imagine he's pushing not only his own 300-pound body around, but the defensive lineman coming at him. So there's a ton of force going across that Achilles. And it's definitely going to be a challenge for him getting back out there. And he's going to play really well. You know, he's a 2-time Pro Bowler, but he may not be at his usual 100%.
All right, another guy, Kamu Grugier-Hill. We know he's not going to play, but he got a grade 3 MCL sprain in the first week of April. So what kind of time frame are we looking? Because a lot of people anticipated that Kamu would be the starting linebacker, and now he's not going to be ready to go. So grade 3 MCL suffered on the first week of the preseason.
Yeah, so first week of preseason, so we're looking at, you know, early August. Usually with these, it's like a 6 to 8 week timeline. Now, you always hear, like, just a sprain, oh, it's great, but a sprain is a tear. It's just a matter of how torn is it, you know? So with the MCL, that ligament on the inside of your knee that gives you stability, a grade 1 would just be, you know, just some stretching of it, but most of all the structure's intact. Grade 2 is a partial tear, but grade 3 is a complete tear. It's a complete rupture. Now, the good thing for the MCL is that is one ligament that typically heals on its own. It doesn't require surgery, but it needs some time. So your timeline, about 6 to 8 weeks. When he gets back out there, he'll likely have a brace on. It will slow him down a little bit. Still likely be a little painful and swollen. But these are tough injuries. The grade 3 sprain is not the same as your typical grade 1, where they're out a week or two. It's a much more significant injury, and it's definitely going to be bothering him for a little while.
All right, Dr. Kevin McHale. Now, we all know Nate Sudfeld broke his left non-throwing wrist in the exhibition opener. There was a lot of panic. Now, the panic is less because they went out and got Josh McCown, and, of course, they already have Carson Wentz. But what are we looking at Sudfeld with a non-throwing broken wrist? Should he be back ready, able to do some things here shortly?
Yeah, you know, for him, at least it was the first preseason game. So after you get these fixed with the plate and screws and have a cast on there, to get it to heal, usually heal pretty reliably in about 6 to 8 weeks. It takes much longer to get, you know, full range of motion and strength back, but since it's his non-throwing hand, he'll be able to get back on the field with some type of protective splint or cast and be available. And hopefully he's just available on the sidelines, you know, come around week 3. We're not actually using him, but he should be available fairly early on in the season, and we do need that depth for sure. So hopefully he'll be on the sidelines fairly soon.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Doc, Carson Wentz, he's seemingly had a healthy preseason in camp. Of course, he hasn't played a whole lot. But going back to the back injury that he suffered last year, the stress fractures, when you have someone who plays that position who goes through that kind of injury, is there any concern that could happen again? Or is there a predisposition at all?
You know, there is always always a risk, especially with those kind of stress injuries, because they're overused injuries to begin with. And we are concerned that they can recur. Now, all the reports out of the Eagles camp is that it completely healed, and that fracture is healed, and he's playing well and not having any residual symptoms from it. So we're all very, very hopeful that that's not going to occur. But it is possible that when you have a stress fracture or a stress reaction, that these injuries or symptoms can occur again in the future. The biggest thing for him is that, he's got another year behind him, or, with that ACL behind him now, and now that back seems to be healed, we expect some great things out of him, and he should be able to play at a high level.
Let's hope, Doc. And today's injury report brought to you by Cape Regional Health System and Dr. Kevin McHale from Penn Orthopedics. Doc, another season. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. We'll do it again next week.